This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. What you just heard there was a semi-improvised little thing I put together using the Lydian mode. If you remember in Wednesday's theory slot, we looked at the chordal aspect of what the Lydian mode is. And just a brief recap on that once again, if you can figure out what chords are in a key, and it's pretty easy to do, really. All you've got to do is just do this little 3-chord trick. And that gives you the 3 major chords of whatever key that chord is. So this is an A chord, so we have A, D and E. Each one of those 3 major chords has a relative minor, so the relative minor of A major is F sharp minor. The relative minor of D major is B minor. And the relative minor of E major is C sharp minor. So that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chords in the key of A major. Those are the main usable chords, the ones that you're going to be using most of the time. So what the Lydian mode is, it's when you take a key, any key, and we're dealing with the key of A major here, and focus on the 4 chords. So there's your 1 chord, 2, 3, 4. So that's the D major chord. Basically what you do is you take chords in the key of A major and rebias that key towards the D chord there. You're still in the key of A major, but everything is now going to be centered on the D chord. That's the musical center of gravity. The way you do that, or an easy way to do that in the Lydian mode, is just let's take, for instance, 3 chords of D, E and A. Just playing them as triads like that, and then if I play a D bass note underneath those and just keep that D note constantly there underneath the D, the E and the A chords, it'll sound like this. And that is basically the kind of meat and potatoes of the chord sequence that I was playing over at the top of the chord sequence, at the top of the video rather. So what do you do over the top of this kind of thing then? Well, the first thing to realise is that you are centred around a D major chord. So it's a good starting point there would be D major pentatonic. There it is, it looks like that. Okay, now you can see the notes in that scale are D, E, F sharp, A and B. The 5 notes that make up D major pentatonic. But we have extra notes in the chord sequence. For instance, the E major chord has this G sharp note in it. Okay, so we could add that into the D major pentatonic, but we also have C sharp note in the A major chord, and we can add that in. And when you add C sharps and G sharps into a D major pentatonic, that's what the pattern looks like. And that is essentially the D Lydian mode. There are obviously other patterns that you can use, because there are 5 different pentatonic patterns, and you can add those different pentatonic scales, or you can add those different notes, the C sharp and the G sharp, into each one of those 5 different pentatonic scale patterns. And if you do that, you will get some scale fingerings that look like this. This is a PDF that I've prepared showing all of the different scale patterns for the Lydian mode, and that is available as a PDF to go along with this lesson. It's already up there, actually. I put it up on Wednesday for the theory lesson that we did on the Lydian mode back then. Also up on my Patreon page, you will find a full tab for the solo that kicked off the video. It's available in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, and the backing track that I was playing over is up there as well. All of that is, as I say, available on Patreon. There's the address. Let me find it. There it is. There's the address, and of course the link is in the description. So there you go, folks. That is basically what's going on with a Lydian mode solo. Now you know how to do it. I will just stress, with any of these modal kind of things, you have to make sure that if you're going to use Lydian mode, or whatever mode you fancy, for your solo, your chord sequence has to be in the Lydian mode as well. You can't just kind of think, oh, I like the sound of the Lydian, and dive into it, because if you're playing it in the wrong, over the wrong chord sequence, it will just sound plain wrong. Modes is very much an interaction between chords and the notes of the melody that you're playing over the top of it, and you have to make sure that they match. So there you go. That's the Lydian mode. Hope you found the video useful, informative, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. And if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we sit and drink beer and talk music and guitars. It's a fantastic way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.